The title is Extreme Weather Conditions. Just like that. Extreme weather conditions. You and I together are going to read the story. We're going to study this story and learn everything about it quickly and easily and very, very effectively. Okay? So, first thing we do looking at a story. I don't want to read everything in one time because I can't remember. I can't remember everything. So let's use a good system for studying, a good method of studying. Find the key words. Now, I think I'm going to do which one? Let's try the first paragraph together. Look for some key words like people, areas, maybe live too. 4 seasons, these are very important words, okay? Hot summer, cold winter, weather, spring, fall, warm or cool. And I'm going to stop there. That's enough. I want you to continue and find the adjectives like warm and cool, hot and cold. Those are adjectives. Find the nouns like summer and winter and people and areas. And find some verbs as well. There's one that I didn't do, live. Okay, there's live. Find the verbs and things and underline them. And when you're ready, put them on a piece of paper. Write those on a piece of paper, okay? Because you can look at them and make sentences. So let me show you what I did on my piece of paper or on my computer. This is what we did. We did surveying. We found some important words. 4 seasons, hot summer, cold winter, spring and fall, warm and cool, normal weather, extreme weather, many problems. So that's later. Now, if you continue, please find some more. What are some more key words? There's many in there. But if you look at the key words, you can guess what the story is about. There are 4 seasons, hot summers, cold winters. Spring and fall are as warm and cool. There's normal weather, but then there's also extreme weather. And extreme weather has many problems. So that's the first paragraph. And that's just like that. We're finished with the first paragraph. So it's your turn. Continue with the rest of the story. Find the key words, the important words, and write them down on your list. And if you look at them, you can make sentences in your mind, okay? And when you're finished surveying, the next thing we're going to do is make some questions together. Making questions. Making questions will help us understand the story. Because in the past, if I was reading something, studying something, I just was reading and maybe taking notes, writing notes, but that's not very good. But now, if you make questions, your questions, or I make questions before reading, then we can understand the story better when we're actually learning it, when we're reading it. So we have to make questions. And one very, very good place is in the titles. At the title, you can make a question. So extreme weather conditions. Make a question like, what are the extreme weather conditions? What are the extreme weather conditions? What happens in these extreme weather conditions? Or where are the extreme weather conditions? Yeah, you can make many questions just from the title alone. Another place you can make questions is from sometimes the pictures here, and this is a good one here. Often the pictures are a very, very good hint, of what the story is about. So look at this picture of the desert and it says drought. So make a question. What is a drought? Why does a drought happen? And so on. Or down below is another one. Flood. What is a flood? Where do floods happen? And what is the damage or what happens in a flood? Things like that. You can make many, many questions. So let's take a look at the next page, please. Questions. Let's make some questions. Extreme weather conditions. That's the title. That's the title. And here's 3 questions that I made. What are some extreme weather conditions? Okay, that's good. What happens in these conditions? Where in the world do they happen? Just like that. Now those are 3 questions, and now I want you to maybe make some more questions. If you can find some, I hope so. Make some really good questions. And when you're ready, come back and we're going to read the story together, and when we read it, we're going to think about these questions and answering it. So prepare yourself for the shadow reading. So you've finished all the surveying with the keywords, important words. You've made some questions, and now we're ready to read the story together. Shadow reading. You and I reading the story together out loud at the same time. So let's get ready. Let's read this interesting story. Many people live in areas with 4 seasons. It's hot in summer and cold in winter. The weather in spring and fall is either warm or cool. These are very normal weather conditions, but sometimes there are extreme weather conditions. These can cause many problems for people. Sometimes it might not rain somewhere for a long time. Lakes, rivers, and streams have less water in them. Trees and grasses die. People and animals become very thirsty. This is called a drought. Other times it rains constantly for many days. Water levels become much higher than normal. Water often goes on the ground and even onto city streets. These are called floods. In many warm places near the water, there are tropical storms. These storms drop heavy rains and have very strong winds. Tropical storms can drop several inches of rain in a few hours. Some places might get 2 or 3 tropical storms every year. Okay, all right. Congratulations. Thank you for reading that with me. And I always tell people, please read it again alone once or twice. Maybe now would be a good time too. But when we were reading, did you also think about the questions that we made? Did you think about the questions? Now, what we're going to do, we're going to take a look one more time, not read it one more time, but we're going to take a look one more time at the questions that we made and see if we can answer them. So after reading, we're going to find the answers to the questions we made, all right? And one question I wrote was, what are some extreme weather conditions? The answer, drought, floods, tropical storms. There, those are some extreme weather conditions, and they cause a lot of problems. So now that's good. And maybe there's some more that you can add sometimes, all right? But in this story, there's 3. Number 2, what happens in these conditions? That was my next question. Well, in the story, it said trees and grasses die, people and animals become very thirsty, and so on, meaning there's more information, but you can find it, you can look at it, and write it in yourself. And there was another question too that I asked, but I'm going to let you answer the other question. And I'm going to let you answer any questions you made too. I hope you made some questions as well. So now's the time to finish answering the questions. And wow, you're starting to understand everything. We did the surveying, the key words. That was really good. And then we made questions. Then we read the story and we're trying to answer the questions. And next step that we're going to do, we're going to recite or paraphrasing. Paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is looking at the story or pieces of the story and then changing it into our words. We say recite or paraphrasing. Paraphrasing, just understanding the story and putting it in our words. It's very, very good for actually understanding it. So this piece in yellow is part of the story. So let me read that, okay? One more time. In many warm places near the water, there are tropical storms. These storms drop heavy rains and have very strong winds. Tropical storms can drop several inches of rain in a few hours. Some places might get 2 or 3 tropical storms every year. So in this paragraph, that's one paragraph, which are the sentences that are very useful? Which ones do we need and which ones can we delete? So please, let's delete the parts of the sentences we don't need. Let's see. In many warm places near the water, there are tropical storms. Maybe, I like this. Maybe a little bit, okay? These storms drop heavy rains and have very strong winds. Maybe that's important. Okay, we'll continue. Tropical storms can drop several inches of rain in a few hours. I think sentence number 2 and sentence number 3 are very similar. I think we don't need this one maybe. Maybe we can use it. It's your choice. You can try. Some places might get 2 or 3 tropical storms every year. That's very interesting, but it's not the most important thing. So I don't think we need that very, very much. I think the first 2 sentences are the most important. So what I've done is sentence number 1 here and this one here, and I put them together or I mix them. And there, paraphrasing, these are my words. Tropical storms drop heavy rains and have very strong winds. That's the same, that's okay. And they happen at warm places near the water. There, that's finished. And it's almost the same as the paragraph above. It's almost the same. That is paraphrasing, but I changed it a little to my words. And when I change it into my words, that's very, very useful. Because if I say it, I understand it. If I read it in the book, well, that's not my words and I can't understand it very well. But if I say it, I understand it. So, next thing I want you to do, look at the other paragraphs and do the same thing. Or do the entire story at one time. Write the important things and see what you come up with for paraphrasing. So that's that. That's the study method. And there's one more thing, which is the review time or comprehension and checkup. Comprehension and checkup time. Comprehension, understanding, checkup, and we can test ourselves and see if we understand or not. All right, so here's the book's questions. Let's test ourselves, okay? Let's test ourselves. Number 1, what is the main idea of the passage? Passage is the story that we read. What's the main idea? A, extreme weather can cause problems. B, floods often cause many problems. C, tropical storms drop large amounts of rain. What's the main idea? The number 1, the most important in this story, in this passage? A, B, or C? And if you said that it was A, you would be right. Congratulations, it's A. I know, A. Yes, it is true. I know floods, yes, they do cause many problems, but the story also talked about tropical storms and it talked about droughts as well. So it's not the main idea in the story. No. But yes, extreme weather can cause many problems. That's the entire story, all of the story. All right, congratulations. Number 2, answer the questions. Oh, this is difficult. You have to really remember the story. Number 2, answer the questions. A, what happens during a drought? Now, can you remember the answer? Can you say it? What happens during a drought? A drought, when there's no rain, no water, well, the grass dies, some trees will die, some people and animals, they become very, very thirsty. And actually, I know people can die, animals can die too. So A, grasses will die, people and animals become very, very thirsty during a drought. So that's the answer. Congratulations on A. What is it called when the water level becomes too high? I think that's an easy question. Can you remember? What's the name? What is it called when the water level becomes too high? And if you said flood, you would be right. It's called a flood. Flood. Now C, what do tropical storms do? What do tropical storms do? Can you remember? We did it in the paraphrasing. In our paraphrasing, we read that piece. Tropical storms, they drop a lot of rain, heavy amounts of rain in a short period of time. And there's strong winds too. And they can cause a lot of damage. So that's the answers right there, the tropical storms. All right, that was number 2. Number 2 is the most difficult. It's the most difficult part. Okay, let me bring up this number 3. We'll take a look at that. Number 3 says to write the correct word in the blanks. And the correct words are normal, extreme, and drought. So A, usual or regular. Usual or regular. B, a period in which no or very little rain falls. C, meaning severe or very strong or very much something. So A, usual or regular. What's the answer? Normal, extreme, or drought? And it is normal. Wow. Yay, congratulations. Normal is usual or regular. Yeah. On Sunday, I normally wake up at 7 a.m. On Sunday, I normally study. In the evening, I am normally tired. B, a period in which no or very little rain falls. Is it extreme or drought? Yeah, congratulations. Drought. Drought. A drought is a very, very dry period. No rain or very little rain. And the last one, severe, means extreme. I'm from Canada, and Canada has extreme weather. All right? Sometimes we do extreme sports like bungee jumping and mountain climbing and things like that. So those are the books questions. Congratulations. How did you do? Did you get a high score or a low score? If you have problems, go back and try it again, especially number 2. Number 2 is very difficult, and you should be able to say it with no problem, okay? Now, one more. I made a question for you, and it's a difficult question. Let's take a look. Now the reviewing part. Here's the paragraph, and I have to read this one more time. In many warm places near the water, there are tropical storms. These storms have heavy rains and very strong winds. Tropical storms can drop several inches of rain in a few hours. Some places might get 2 or 3 storms every year. There. And I wrote numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. And what I want you to do, this sentence here, this sentence that I made this sentence, should go in 1, 2, or 3, or 4. Where's the best place? The best place. So what is the sentence? Let's read. As a result of such sudden rain, tropical storms can also cause flooding. Tropical storms can also cause flooding. As a result of such sudden rain, Tropical storms can cause such flooding. Where's the best place to put that in the story? Do you know where that is? All right, and if you said it should go here, all right, oh no, well, let me see. Tropical storms can drop several inches. Yes, sorry, I almost made a mistake too. It's actually here. Number 4 is a very, very good spot for it because it actually makes some sense. It says heavy rains, that's good, but why did I put it here? The key is here, such sudden rain. And the key words are can drop several inches of rain in a few hours. Inches of rain in a few hours and sudden rain, they're very similar. So that's why this sentence can go in here and it makes really good sense. If you put it in number 3, it's not bad, it's okay, but it's not really the best. All right, that's it, that's all. You finished it. You did another great unit. You studied hard, and remember the style. Remember the style of studying. That's important too. Not just the information, the words, and the content, but also how you study is very, very important. All right? Thank you guys very, very much. I had fun. It was good to see you. So take a break, take a rest, and clear your minds. And when you're ready, come back for another lesson at English Boss, okay? So take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.